Thank you so much, Morena, for that. Now bringing you the story. Parents and residents of Scenery Park are seeking answers on what really happened just moments before 21 teenagers died at a local tavern. This tragic story, which unfolded in the East London region, has rocked the country as well as the world. But even worse, dealing a heavy blow on loved ones. Residents discovered the lifeless bodies scattered on the ground at eNCA Tavern in the early hours of Sunday morning. And the youngest victim is just 13 years of age. Senior reporter eNCA's Aviwe Mtila is there tracking this story for us. Aviwe, good morning to you, colleague. What's the very latest you can share with us around this tragic story?
Good morning, Tumelo, and I'm just 100 meters away from eNCA Tavern here in Scenery Park, where I'm going to be speaking to one of the parents who says that luckily her grade 11 daughter was spared from the brunt of those deaths. In fact, he says her daughter was among those that was at the tavern, and she lies in bed this very moment, suffering injuries. You understand, Oscar Mabuyana, the Premier, suggesting that there are those that are critically injured in hospital, but we understand there are many more, such as the daughter here. We're, of course, protecting the identity, who is lying in bed injured from, we understand, the crowd that was there in their hundreds. In fact, I want to catch up with the father now, just to get some sort of indication to exactly what might have transpired. Mntomkhulu, ngosi join up at eNCA. Kodwa kwenzeke ntoni kumntana wakho mntomkhulu?
Umntana mina into I'm sure ngenxa yobuninzi babantu la babegcwele phambi sabantwana. Yena uye wawa bamnyathela. Ufike apha kuseni ene pains. Nalapha emzimbeni. Usinde phaya la nto. Mephaya enyobeni.
Uthi kwenzeke noni, uthi kufike njani ekseni pha? Uthi ufike njani apha ekhaya? Kuye kwenzeka noni kahle?
Ufike apha yena ekuseni uncedo komfana uyamthatha umfana lapha ekuhlaleni, uyamthatha wamzisa apha endlini. Umfana lapha ekuhlaleni. Uye wamzisa apha endlini, umchwale phansi.
Injani intombi ngoku ubekhe yajongwa ngogqirha?
Ubhetele ngoba ke namsanye empilweni izolo ayinokubhetela ebenazo ne-chest pains ungumntu othanda uba ne-short breath ndamsempilweni ebusuku but she's fine now, at least uyazama. Ihamba nzima xa ihamba.
Okay. Difficulty walking the daughter, grade 11, that was there. We understand part of those that were there, we understand celebrating what they call pens down Dumelo. She was dragged by one of the neighbors who saw her on the ground as people were stamping on her. She was outside. She wasn't even inside Dumelo, but luckily she was saved, brought to the house, and we understand the father saying that they've taken her to hospital and she suffers minor injuries, having difficulty to walk, but luckily she's safe and sound and alive. Mntomkhulu, I want to talk about the tavern itself. I've been hearing from some of the neighbors that there have been complaints prior when Mntomkhulu was in Doni Ngalandau in eNCA Tavern.
No, it is good to complain about the neighbors before ngendaba yexesha ukuthi makuvalwe early ayenzake loo nto leyo, so there were a lot of complaints before yena nto ndiyazi leyo, but bekusoloko zikhona ii-meetings, a lot of meetings concerning about the place ngendaba yengxolo. Ndingaveli mhlawumbi.
Awuveli mntomkhulu.
Okay, but concerning the indaba yengxolo phaya, but ke yena nto ndiyazi leyo before because kuyakhona ilo complaint.
Okay, so there have been numerous complaints, Dumelo. The father saying meetings as well about just the noise levels there, as well as when the tavern itself is supposed to close. In fact, I was speaking to one of the neighbors myself who suggested that they've had letters that have been written, especially with the neighboring, the close neighbors there, that have written letters to the South African Police Service outlining their grievances just around that noise level, as well as the time that they close in. And they've had a chicken tongue response from the owner, they tell me, suggesting that he has a license, he can close at 2 o'clock, but that is superseded, we understand, and normally closes at around 4 a.m., we are told by some of the neighbors. I'm not sure if the daughter is willing just to give us a quick word. Ndombi, uziva njani wena sis? Okay, she's not speaking to us at the moment. You understand the traumatic experience that she went through, Tumelo, on the ground, a grade 11 learner. We understand that was part of those that went there. The owner, in speaking to the owner yesterday, my colleague, Ngabantlanganiso, suggesting that he himself heard of this at around 1 a.m. He was in the initiation school where his son is, and he rushed back. And he says that from what he could see, the security was overcrowded. The security was defeated by the influx of the crowd as they came in. But there are suggestions, Dumelo, it's quite mind-boggling at this stage to exactly what might have transpired, because they are suggesting that it might have not been a stampede when the forensics examined the bodies of the deceased, suggesting that there were no injuries to those 21 young teenagers that lost their lives. To understand, 9 of them are male, a female, I beg your pardon, and 12 are male. 17 were found lying dead inside eNCA Tavern, while 2 were found dead at the neighboring clinic, as well as 1 who lost his life on the way to hospital and another lost his life in hospital. There are those that are injured. Critically, we understand about 4 of them that have been critically injured, 5 still unidentified children at this stage. But of course, there are those, such as this grade 11 child that was there, that is now recovering at home.
Yeah, just so tragic indeed to learn of other developments around the story, Aviwe, as well as hearing from the parents. And I can just imagine the gratitude they have towards that neighbor that assisted their daughter, because it really is a tragic story that, you know, children from 13 all the way to 17 have lost their lives in this manner. But thank you, colleague, for bringing this story to a senior eNCA reporter, Aviwe Mtila. All right.